What's good? Oh shit. Let me excuse my car doing that shit. Fuck. It's your boy Czar, all rights reserved, coming to you on an early morning, on some early morning shit. Part of why I'm coming to you guys this morning, and excuse the darkness as I'm working on different features to upgrade the visual, is to conversate about the issue dealing with Tekashi, the YG situation, once again, where they showed up in NY in his Breakfast Club debut. Now, part of why I'm talking about this issue and part of why I'm addressing it in the way I am is because most people need to understand how Tekashi fits into this scenario and the type of outcomes that were being allotted to during during his many brushes with not only other gang members, but with members that are outside of the gang, and we're going to call that the fans. Now, part of why I'm mentioning this ultimately is because as an artist, you have a catalog, you have a legacy. Imagine if Jay-Z's legacy had came in and he took up the beef with Nas and made it personal, and these guys never made the music we heard. Well, that leads me to believe that even though we've seen the Breakfast Club issue and that whole preview, that there was an informant on the Breakfast Club that taunted the YG situation. Now remember, when we know about this YG situation, is the only way it came upon us is when information got back to YG prematurely that Tekashi 6ix9ine was talking about him. Now, there's only two people I believe responsible for that. That was either you, Charlamagne, or Angela Yee. It was either the two. And I have a reason why I believe allegedly either one of them did it. Okay? Now, Tekashi did his interview. We seen YG and NY in the city walking around and doing all that. Basically, right after his interviews and stuff. So this guy was there on time. So you're telling me he showed up right after all the interview stuff happened and his name was mentioned and there was no insider information that led to this? That would make no sense. So the question is, what insider information or situation led to this? Why would Charlamagne do it if he allegedly did it? Why would he send YG the footage? Well, we've seen how he put minor pressure on Tekashi, but he was also the most laxed I ever seen him at Going So One. But he was all cynical and all negative energy towards Tekashi, which led me to believe he was counting on the YG and Slim400 beef to take care of the issue. So he didn't really care because he set Tekashi up anyway. Allegedly, is this the issue? Did Charlamagne do that? And if you did that, Tekashi should have took a hand across your face right there, because that is some sucker-ish. And I'm not shocked because Charlamagne did it. I expect sucker shit from you. The way you got punched in the back of the head, then ran, still got up on the mic. Like, you've done sucker-ish your whole career. So I'm not really shocked you did another sucker move. That's your MO. You know, you're trying to be like Star, trying to be groundbreaking, interrogating, doing the groundbreaking interviews, when your groundbreaking interview will never come without a DJ Envy or an Angela Yee attached. Matter of fact, Angela Yee's above you. You just need to wait your turn because Angela Yee's up next. But with all that aside, Angela Yee, the only reason she would have did it is to get clout from a YG or to get clout from a Slim400. And what have we been talking about with clout? Money's not her issue, so financially she wouldn't need any basis from it. So the clout from being the one that informs them could have been the reason. And that would be a great reason in her position, being they want interviews from artists that are active. And I'm sure they want a YG and a Slim400 interview after what just happened. Because that's how the Breakfast Club gets down. The drama, the way they get around it, the way they produce their drama, the way they introduce their drama, the way they introduce everything that they do. Like, this is their MO. This is who they are. So I'm not shocked when I see these things. It's just me understanding how Tekashi fits into it, and him as someone who's an upcoming artist dealing with these other people. How is he going to progress his career? He's already making the moves to strategically brush off the issues that are one after another coming his way. He's also strategically making it his duty to refine himself, not only as an artist, but as someone who's beginning to see above and beyond what's in front of him. And like Star did on Everyday Struggle, I applaud him. You know I don't do shout outs for real, but shout to DJ Academics being the director of the Tekashi video. That's a YouTube pioneer move. Whoever's hating, you already know what you can do. But ultimately, let's talk about it. What is going on? Why is Charlamagne or potentially a DJ Envy or Angela Yee getting involved in a blood quarrel to the point where they're informing a guy he's being dissed before it drops? Why would you have the need to do it? It's attention. It's attention. Let's think. Look at the morning shows. Star in the Morning was the #1 morning show on YouTube for months. Months. The only reason it's not is because it stepped aside. That's the only reason. And we see that the Breakfast Club has been doing it for how long? And it's not, we now see, because of the great hater as he is, Troy Terrain, because we've seen the format and how he's built his platform off of skilled interviews, skill itself during interviews and interrogations, the involvement of the common folk, such as myself. We now see how it brings people to reign king. Now, are they trying other tactics around the norm, like dry snitching someone out, snitching on someone behind the scenes that may have said something to other artists to bring drama and conflict to boost their ratings? Is this where we're at? Is it about the ratings? If it's about the ratings, let me know something. But as far as I know, I thought it was about skill. I thought it was about teamwork. I thought it was about everything that goes to making a great unit and a great, let's say, interview. Because that interview y'all did was a bad interview, you know? And it's not just because Star said it. No, I watched Star's interviews. I watched a lot of people's interviews. Your interview was horrible. It was horrible. You had this kid who's supposedly a gang member cutting you off, Charlamagne. You need to smack the back of your head. You got cut off over 12. You could talk about his gangster all you want. As a man, he cut you off and had his hands all in your space without you saying anything. So if he got sucker moved and scrubbed for letting them come to his city and not showing up 100 deep to have an all-out blood war where people die, and then you'd allegedly, if that happened, you'd hop up on the Breakfast Club saying R.I.P. to everybody that died, because that's you. That's the sucker you are. Embrace the sucker you are, Charlamagne. That's what we're going to say. Before I continue, embrace the sucker you are. And then I'll be able to continue. Doesn't matter all that work you get done working out, lightning. You're a sucker. Because you're there interrogating this kid when I seen real gangsters come up there on some bullshit and you didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing when the real gangsters came up, but he comes up and you want to question his gangster because you got some bloods allegedly in town because they know he dissed them. Like, that's like the type of sucker you are can't even be described yet. I got to think for a while. I got to think of what type of sucker you are, because that's a special type of sucker. That's a special type of guy. You're a special type of guy. But anyways, Tekashi, you see these grown men are playing around your life. These grown men are playing with your life, dog. They don't care. They want to see a show. They want to see someone get shot. Don't you get that yet? But you don't get that yet because all you see is the money. But let me tell you this. The first time one of these dudes violates you on cam, it could be random. We hear about it. You will not be the same artist. I promise. That's what they're setting you up for. Don't you see it? Don't you get it? You don't get it yet? Oh my goodness. Charlamagne's such a bad actor, he can't even play off his hatred for you. He can't. So when you did that interview and that happened, who you think said something? Who do you think said something? I mean, do you see the suckers for who they are now? They've been exposed. And if you want to say they're not Charlamagne, I'm not letting you say he's not a sucker. But even DJ Envy makes sucker moves. And if it was Angela Yee that told, she did a sucker move. Why are you letting everyone around you make sucker moves? Sucker moves. When you're an artist, okay, you even need to sometimes, you need to check your CEO. Don't ever be in a position where a CEO or anyone around you has more power over you than you, who are the artist that employs them. Ever. They need you. Okay? You need to control your environment. And I don't know what you're going to do at this point to do it, but you need to control your environment. See, I talk to you from night into morning because that's how important it was to me. The sun came up. We see the sun come up in the middle of our conversation. Hear me, man. Hear me. Step your game up. Step your lyricism up. Start doing research into music topics and make quality music. Get away from a lot of those gangsters. Listen, you can have gangsters around you. You can have them around you, but get away from a lot of them you're giving that pass to and allowing to do some things. Get away from them. They're no good. You hear me? Now you need to move with your CEO and a few guys. Get things together, and if you're going to plan an attack on your enemies, you plot it in silence. No more of this Gumo talk everything on the mic. Begin to be an adult with your moves. In silence. You can at least talk to academics about how to do that. I'll give academics that. He at least knows how to move like that. Come on, academics. You're here making this video. Give him the info he needs. Stop letting these suckers like Charlamagne hop on and set things up. I really am going to find out if you were responsible for that, Charlamagne. This is All Rights Reserve. I'm going to find out if you did that. And if you did tell YG that, allegedly, that was a sucker move. If Angela Yee did it, I would honestly expect that. That's a woman. If you did that, that was a sucker move. All Rights Reserved.